talk then about Arsenal. Let's talk about that amazing result on Tuesday night in the Champions League with that 3-0 win at home to Real Madrid. But on top of the win, what really everybody was talking about was those two Declan Rice free kicks. If you haven't seen it, most have. It was a wonderful, wonderful soccer special, and Mercy's reactions to those free kicks, something else.
There's a free kick 30 yards just to the right-hand side. Yeah, I do well to score from here, if I'm being honest. Rice. What a goal! What a goal! Oh, my! What a goal! Oh, my! I'm saying don't shoot from there. If it's Rice and Odegaard over, it's about 25 yards out left of the goal. For me, it's for Rice to bend it over the wall. He bends it. Oh! What a goal! Did you see? Oh, my! He's in his free kick and he's bent it into the top corner. It's a phenomenal free kick. Oh, my God. Rice, baby.
Leeds should be 3 up. They should have the game in the bag. As it is, here they are. They're leading by a goal to nil. I'm going to shut up. You can tell there's another goal at the Emirates. What a night for Arsenal against the European champions.
Oh, Mourinho scored, and it's another worldie. Lewis Skelly gets the ball, and he rolls it across the box, and he hits it first time, left foot, whips it in the far corner. I cannot believe what I'm watching here. It's Arsenal 3, the champions Real Madrid 0.
And I tell you what, you know it's good. You know it's special when you see a bit of Merce midriff on show. My goodness me.
I've got an Under Armour on today.
Well, you're watching Brighton against Leicester. I'm not quite sure it's going to live up to what you saw Tuesday night. I mean, in terms of nights at the Emirates since that stadium took over from Highbury, I don't think you or anyone else has seen anything quite like it, and the nature of it as well.
No, I would say that was the greatest night at the Emirates. I would say that, yeah, it was phenomenal. You know, you talk to the champions of Europe, you know, dominate Champions League football, always thereabouts, and they just blew them away. And they're very fortunate, Real Madrid, that it weren't 4 or 5. Weren't 4 or 5. Arsenal steamrolled them. They were by far the better team, and it was a brilliant, brilliant night. I'm not putting my name to it being over. No. It's Real Madrid and with the front line, and if they went and scored before half-time...
Then a very different feel.
It's a different... Yeah. But if you live in the moment, it was a great, great, great result, you know, and, yeah, honestly, the 2 free kicks, the second free kick is mind-blowing, you know, especially against the goalkeeper, Courtois. The first goal, it was a good goal, but when I look at it again, terrible wall. Terrible, terrible wall. The man who's second in the wall has to line up in line with the post, and the outside man stays one man behind. He's in line with the post and he even turns his body. But it does come round, but you'd be disappointed if you're Courtois with the wall.
But it's that second one, to hit 2 in a match. I think Opta worked out about a 1 in 434 chance of that happening in a game. But if you wanted a working definition of a postage stamp goal, that was it.
Oh, and it's hit the side netting. It's gone in and hit the side netting first, which is phenomenal, yeah. And the goalie, as I say, it's Courtois. You know, when you talk about great free kicks, that's one of the top free kicks.
Look at that, for a game by one player. That is it. That's
you know the lad. I think I'm a big fan of the lad. I think he's a great. You know how good someone is when you never mention how much he cost. And he costs like over £100 million, and that for me that tells you everything. You know, he was bombing forward. There was another time he probably could have had his hat-trick, but brilliant defending by Camavinga. Otherwise, if he gets lazy and doesn't track him back, and there's nothing worse for a midfield player chasing someone back without the ball. I thought Declan Rice was absolutely outstanding on the night, and he's been outstanding. He's consistently good for Arsenal, week in, week out, and his country. You know, he's a top player.
And those numbers just back up how good he was, Sue. And I don't think I've seen 2 goals probably more watched over the course of the last week. I've watched them endless times. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but just from a purely footballing point of view, they were something else. But to do it twice and to improve on the first one, which was good enough. I mean, Merce talks about the wall, we can talk about that, but it was still had to be executed. But then to execute that second one with such precision in a game of that importance tells you everything about the mentality of a player who up until then hadn't scored a free kick.
No, you're right. And it's like you say, it's that pressure to be able to do it once, but then to do it again. And, yeah, he's outstanding. I'm completely with Merce. I think the fact that he come for a great deal of money, nobody really spoke about that, and that just shows that the quality of the player. But I remember when he first started taking corners, and there was a lot of questions, why is he taking corners? Because of the presence and because of how good he is in the air. but we know why he takes corners, because he can absolutely put it on somebody's head. And you've seen how successful Arsenal have been taking set pieces. So he's probably thought, do you know what? I can do that from a corner. Let's have a go at a free kick, because he was actually told, wasn't he, to deliver it into the box. And I think he had a little conversation with Saka, and Saka was like, if you fancy it, have a go. And just unreal. And you know, I'm the same as you. I've watched them again and again, and I was lucky enough to be in the studio, and we couldn't concentrate on our games because we were watching. Obviously, we were watching the game, and just incredible from an Arsenal perspective. And him, just the player that he is. We know he's a holding midfielder, but he doesn't have to just do that. He's shown now that he can be that number 8, if you like, the one that gets forward and supports and creates. He'll get back and defend. He's got everything about his game. So I just think he's getting better and better as the season's gone on.
And the thing is,
so you've just been sitting with your iPads or that on repeat, just watching.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Some week, yeah.
Well, and you haven't, eh? The thing is,
I've got a life.
Hey, beyond football, how dare you?